There's probably a lot of ways to do it. It's actually probably a really well-designed boss fight. Especially, I don't know, maybe I actually did the RPG at the beginning and I made it way easier, and that's why that worked. I actually thought I killed him in one shot.
Sorry, Leon. Hand it over.
Ada, you do know what this is.
Where was Ashley during this? She's just hiding.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of it.
Been more impressive if she was flying the helicopter.
If I were you, I'd get off this island too.
She really pushed it.
Oh, so is this the ending? I have to get off?
Better get a move on. See you around.
Very cute.
There's gonna be something in that bear. There's a zipper on the back. Again, so wait, where's Ashley? Okay. So there's probably still enemies. I haven't escaped from the nightmare, so... Did I miss something? Is she just, like, off somewhere? And I think I'm free now, right? To just use as much as I can. I must have missed something, right? I'm gonna have to watch that back in editing. Or was she waiting outside and I went and actually, like, I'm gonna face Sadler? Yeah.
Leon,
We have to get off this island now. It's gonna blow any minute.
it's gonna what?
Could I have gone back to the merchant? Is that an option? I don't think you can. Been interesting though. Because they gave you all that money. What would be the point? I was trying to think if maybe there's like an achievement for, I don't know, upgrading all your guns to max. And that's what you needed to actually clear that. So yeah, you couldn't use them in the game, but at least you could go, you know, like finish off a couple, like one tune or something that, if you still needed it. I want to look around. What's that? That's just glitching texture. Glitching texture. I better get to drive this. Call it a present from Ada. Well, sorta. I'm guessing there's something in there. Use the jet ski. Jet ski key. Jet ski key. I better be able to drive this. 'Cause they have the boat mechanic, so I think they'd let me drive this. Yeah. Although I am surprised there weren't enemies in that tunnel. This reminds me a lot of Overtime Mode from Dead Rising. Not because of like an extended story, because I think there might be small stuff like that. But just because... Should I have taken the ramp? Oh, I should have taken the ramp. But just because like now it's kind of like... A lot of the mechanics change, like in Dead Rising 1, Overtime Mode, now you have all these human enemies you fight. And this is just kind of like... It's not about fighting the zombie guys, the Plagueis. It's about the jet ski and the boss battle. I'm really surprised they make you use the key. Unless... Can you come down here earlier? It looked like you might have been able to. So maybe that's just to let you know that's there. And I bet everything's like a one-shot kill in this section because it's honestly probably pretty easy. So is that a red herring? To make it look like you're not supposed to go over the rock, they have that explosion. Ah.
I know. Just hold on.
Oh, because I wasn't holding accelerate? Okay. I let go of there, because I thought what it was is maybe if you accelerate, you go faster, but you can't see. Well, I think you just gotta hold it. I think that's all you gotta do is just keep holding it. Again, sometimes the mechanics in this game are not very clear, so it's just kind of fail it once, continue. I would love to see just alternate difficulties for this game that kind of like mix up in crazy ways. Oh, I can't accelerate here. Can I do anything else? X, Y. I can probably, yeah, I can slow down too. Like, one of the things being, like, a great little adjustment in this game would actually be if you had, on the higher difficulty settings, menus didn't pause the game. So if you want to, like, switch between weapons, you have to do that all, like, live. Or use the jet ski as fast as possible. That would actually be really interesting, just in terms of skill. Because that would add a whole layer of depth to menuing around at the right time. And, like, sorting your inventory, not to be like just a neat freak, but rather just to actually be able to get to your guns quickly. There we go. Oh, that's close. Or hell, take it even further. And you had to actually, like, say if you had to combine your bullets with your gun and the menu didn't pause. So how am I going too slow there? Is it because I'm turning? Because that was I held forward the whole time. I love to actually, I wish I could actually capture the inputs. I know on PC games sometimes you could, like speedrunners will do it where they can throw up a little graphic that shows the inputs as they're going, so you can see, like, if, I don't know, a jump's lagging behind, just barely. Or would this game be so cruel to say you have to, like, hit benchmarks at certain times? So, like, that explosion goes off at 1 minute no matter what, and so I'm already screwed because I didn't get down to the jet ski in time. So it's always going to happen at a place where it's going to be kind of impossible to get away from the wave. I don't know. Because that timer's been counting the whole time. And always triggers right there. I think. I could just be consistent, but I think it's scripted to happen there.
I know. Just hold on.
Just carry Ashley this entire way and then just chuck her off at the very end so you can just get out in time. Come on. So I guess why I couldn't see before was because of the water. Or maybe what it is maybe I don't accelerate unless I literally hold forward. So when I'm turning like that, I stop and I'll lose my acceleration. See there, I think actually I slowed down because I accelerated, had to stop entirely, go to the right. And maybe that's why. I don't think, is there any way I can do like a hard turn? Like you naturally see in a jet ski where you kind of like ice skating, where you turn it like completely 90 degrees to the right to do a turn. Come on.
Hang on, sweetheart.
Come on. I get that this is cinematic, although I will say I'm not actually a huge fan of stuff like this in games. And maybe I just suck. Not in games, but at the end. Just because, on one hand, you want to make it hard enough that it's still a challenge. Like, you don't want it to be trivial. But man, would this not... Like, say you just suck at this. Like, I'm at the... Like, say I'm doing this next hour. Man, would that just ruin my opinion of this game, right? Like, yeah, last hour really sucked. And I think I can hold that through cutscenes, too. So, accelerate, left, cut it right. There you go. I think, or maybe I just have to, I think if you ever let up on the accelerator at all in certain sections, it just gets you. I think. So I have to just go for these turns without decelerating. I think that might be what I'm getting, is it's not a wave actually catching up with me, it's just if you let go of the accelerator to make you feel like you're actually there. Am I supposed to hold the trigger? Because I've been holding the trigger the whole time. I don't think that does anything. Yeah, I don't need to hold the trigger. Hold on. I don't know why I was doing that. Maybe that was slowing me down. And maybe it's just in my head that I have to slow down to bank. Like, maybe I can make all of these if I just call it. I have a lot of theories, but I'm wondering, like, if I hold down during this cutscene, when I come out of it, am I still accelerating? And maybe that's why I'm failing, because it's not counting anymore. I have no other games that do that. Like, they'll drop your input over a cutscene. It doesn't seem to be the case. It's like right there. That's where I lost a ton of time last time. It's like this weird semi-turn. I'll take that. I'm wondering if I just did something impossible. I don't need to go. I didn't get a save after Sadler though. I don't think it'd be that cruel where it's like if you didn't get enough time, it literally makes you fight the final boss again. Right, but also, what's the point of the timer if the bombs are already going off? Do I know that it's 3 minutes, or is that just like the game being like, oh yeah, they're going off, but you only have this much time? But yeah, I called it out. Like I lose too much, like acceleration on these turns. But even the small ones, like I don't think it's some case where I can like start banking early, so I'm accelerating still. I think it really is just, I don't know. I think it stops all forward acceleration, like a boost, as soon as I let go. Or maybe this would be easier on PC, honestly, because I can't input a left without kind of giving up on a. Oh. See, like there, like I'm holding diagonal, but it doesn't register there. So I'm thinking the issue is like, I don't even know if I can turn while accelerating. I think it's just, I have to like quickly dodge left or right, and maybe I can go slightly, but it, or I don't know, maybe my controller just right now crapped out on me, and it can't register those anymore.
Hang on, sweetheart.
I don't think that's the case. It's like, yeah, hold on. I think this is my controller. I can bank to the right way better than I can to the left. And maybe that's just because of the camera angle and how it's interpreting left to right. Or maybe I'm supposed to do something weird, like go off to the side when I go up those ramps so I don't have to bank as much. There's no, but I think this might be a controller issue because it seems like I can bank to the right way easier than I can to the left. God, do I have so many questions? Or like, is there some other signal about what rock's gonna fall? Or can I just dodge at the very last second and that's what the game wants? So that way I'm not accelerating at all, like just do like that. I can make that. Yeah, I think that's what the game wants. Is they want like a last minute dodge. So I think I'm being too good by trying to predict it. That's what I think is happening.
Ashley! Ashley! Where are ya?
You lose because you didn't teach Ashley to swim.
Come on. Let's go home.
Sounds like a great idea. Mission accomplished. Right, Leon?
Not quite. I still have to get you home safe.
So, after you take me back to my place, how about we do some, overtime?
Sorry.
Somehow I knew you'd say that, but it doesn't hurt to ask, you know? So, who was that woman anyway?
Why do you ask?
Come on, tell me.
She's like a part of me I can't let go.
I would also like to know. That's it. Okay. That's Resident Evil 4. So, I don't know if I can skip these. Normally I would watch these, but, hold up. That's a joke. Stars member. Why do I know that? Stars. That's a thing.
Hunnigan, is that you?
Finally.
The line jack's free.
I said it with her.
Hunnigan, no glasses.
Forget the glasses. What's the status of the mission?
I've rescued the subject. We're returning home.
You did it, Leon.
Thanks. You know, you're kind of cute without those glasses. Give me your number when I get back.
May I remind you that you're still on duty.
Story of my life.
Was there a reason for that? It's 16 hours, so now you can compare this to the length of like the playlist and see how much I cut out. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I like that leaderboards are a thing, actually. That's kind of cool for a game like that you wouldn't expect it. The Infinite Launcher and Matilda from the Merchant. See, it makes sense that there's unlockables. That actually does make sense. For like a new game plus, kinda. Infinite Launcher, though. Is it just gonna, like, drop me in it? So I'm gonna explore this really quick before I sign off. Separate Ways, Assignment Ada, Mercenaries. I think this is just all the cutscenes. And that might be some other stuff. But I think these are actually playable sections. And I'll look at them, but I probably won't do them for the channel. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about it. I actually really like this game, especially going in. I really like slow survival horror-esque games, and I think that scratched my itch a little bit more at the beginning of the game, going around this village. Like, I made a comment when in the editing, when I was doing the village for the first time, in the part that I think got included, about how one of my favorite moments was just standing on the roof, and there's just, like, just 2 zombies coming at me, and I have, like, 3 bullets. And I know I call them zombies. I know they're not zombies, but it's easy, and it makes sense. But I really like that. And as I went further, it came more and more actiony, which is okay, but I know that's something they criticized the series of. Like, apparently 5, and especially 6, just, like, scares all gone. Until 7. But I liked it. I didn't like that island section as much, because in the castle, like Salazar's castle and the lead up to it, it felt more and more about, like, this progression of enemies. Like, okay, you master these basic civilians, and now every single encounter was something new. Okay, now they have the tentacles, the Las Plagas, whatever, tentacles. And then now there's the dogs. Now there's dogs with tentacles. Now there's dudes with shields. Now there's enemies with higher health. Now there's enemies with crossbows. And it felt like every time they did that, it was like step up, step up, step up. And then you got to the island, and it was just like, now they're just all military, and then there's, 2 new enemies, the chain gun guys, and then the tanks and the regenerators, I guess you kept throwing there too. But there's only 5 regenerators in the game, so it's, eh. And I would love to have played. I thought the regenerators are a cool enemy. Like, I like the idea of dodging it, and then you're just fighting. It's like, yeah, I can deal with them as long as I have ammo. Or you could, if they made, like, the scope costs more, it's like, yeah, you have to really be sure you want to go down that route if you want to do that. But you're still always better off not killing him, not wasting ammo, maybe. There's just, like, a ton of things I really liked about the game. It just felt like it was kind of changing feel of it constantly. Like, it was all about you talking to your little assistant there or whatever that he asked out at the end. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, that they can block it. Okay, can't talk anymore. Now it's about Salazar, and it's all kind of weird and, like, traps and stuff in the castle. And then it was back to, like, the super action theme, and it wasn't very survival horror at all. And it was just, here's a ton of guys, mow them all down. Here's grenades. Here's all that. And then it was a couple of boss fights that I just, like, I didn't understand. Like, I was talking to someone else about this. I really felt that the stuff with Umbrella, I am sure they planned the entire time. Also, I think that number 4 is supposed to look like Leon's knife. I just realized that now that I'm looking at this. Or like a broken version of it, maybe. I really think I got the impression that this game was like, someone came to this dude's like, we need you to write the story of this game. And he had a great idea where he's going to, like, do this whole thing with Las Plagas and these bugs and Luis and all this stuff. And then at the end, he's like, oh man, I forgot to put the Umbrella stuff in. Quick, in this one chapter, condense it and put everything there. Because it really felt like it's just like, oh shoot, we have to tie something into the greater Resident Evil franchise. We can't just be all about Sadler and self-contained. So then, and maybe this is because I didn't really know these characters, but I just didn't really understand the whole thing with Ada. Ada was probably okay, but really with Krauser, I was like, who are you? And who are they talking about? Vickman or something? Not Vickman. I'm going to throw it. The dude Krauser and Ada kept talking about and threatening Leon about sending him to or something. It just, like, was lost to me. And I know that's something that was probably, I don't know, like, expected. Like, you should just know that from other games. But I wish there was something. Like, I'm really surprised for the number of, like, notes you picked up in the game that explain stuff. They didn't include anything that was just like, this is Leon. This is where his history is. Because I got the impression that, is Leon, like, have some kind of healing ability that he does? Because it almost seems like canon that he can heal with these herbs. Like, he gets stabbed and cut in cutscenes, and then he just walks it off and, like, is sprinting within an hour. And I get that it's meant to be like an action movie parody slightly, but I just feel like I missed some stuff. And at the end, it was kind of like, eh. I really liked the boss fight with Sadler. Like, everything with Sadler was awesome. Everything with Umbrella, not so much. It just felt like a different game. Like, it just felt like they took, like, chapter 4 out of 5 of a separate game about a separate thing and put it in this. And I'm still not really even sure, like, what Krauser was, what was the point. Is the only point of getting the sample out just imply, like, oh, there's still a sample. They're going to you know, these enemies can come back. I just didn't quite get it. Or even just like, so was that note at the end of the game that was like our plan? Is that just meant to be like, here's the rest of the plot, we're not going to explain it? I'm not sure. And maybe these little things that I see here, separate ways and assignment Ada, maybe there's some meat there, so I'll talk about that. I'll probably play them. Like I said, I'm probably going to stream the rest of this on, God, either Saturday morning if I don't have like Destiny stuff I need to do, or I'm thinking Monday. I think that Monday's going to be my day for like doing stuff like this. We'll do like 3 hours or so. I'll do all that, and I'll go through it, and I'd like to do maybe like kind of a round trip, what's called like a tour of duty, as what I had a friend who calls it, where you just kind of go through on an easy difficulty, and you're like, okay, now that I know everything, let me like open the wiki, look stuff up as I play, like fully understand the game. And what I'd like to do is, I talked earlier in this like section of my filming, I'd like to just like do a write-up and say these are my thoughts. I'd really go through, take notes, and then produce something that's, it's not a review, it's not a recommendation, just saying, this is what I think of the game. Maybe it's like a critique, I guess you could call it, but I'm not a game critic. But just do that, and throw it out there. I'll probably post to the Reddit, just think, hey, I'm not looking for fame, I'm not looking for a ton of hits, just this is what I thought of the game, correct me. Because the thing is, like, I don't think a lot of these issues I'm talking about are bad. It's just like, Krauser is probably not a bad character, I just recognize that I don't have the background to understand why that was the way it was. Or, like, I'm not sure, like, he mentioned he hit his death, but it almost sounded like that happened outside the games. Like, that you saw him in another game, and then his actual fake death was something that happened between the games, or maybe in a spinoff. It's just a lot of weird things, or, like, I still have no idea what's with Ada, or there's probably, I'm probably going to go through this movie browser first, just because I think about, there must have been cutscenes I missed, because I played this beginning section several times, and only in the last time in the mansion in the village where you have like your second encounter with the chief, I think it is, you can go backwards after he threatens you if you become unpleasant to our eyes or whatever. Then there's a cutscene with Ada, and that's actually the first time I saw her. So I'm wondering if there's not other encounters. That thing. And also, like, I'd heard people complain about Ashley. Like, Ashley really wasn't that big of a deal, except for the very beginning section. Like, I think she's only essentially in like a 30% of the game. And even then, it's like just the town. And again, maybe this is way different on different difficulties. Like on a higher difficulty, maybe it's just you don't have the bullets to deal with all of them, so you're doing a lot more of just running by the enemies. But yeah, I'll do all this in a write-up. I just want to kind of do a little post-mortem on the game. Overall, I liked it. I don't know if I'm going to play 5. I think it's more likely I'm going to go backwards on maybe my own personal time, or maybe on the stream I'll play like maybe 3. I've never heard about 3, but I'll probably play 2 at least to get some perspective. Probably play 1, and then go and also do 7, of course, because I've heard bad things about 5 and 6, and I think maybe not that they're inherently bad, but at this point they're no longer relevant enough to go back and play, which is I think a lot of games like this. But I'm glad I played this. I think it was a great thing for the channel. I actually got way better at editing, I could tell you already, just with what I've been doing. And that's one of the main points of these doing these little Let's Plays is, 1, set aside time, play the games I want to finally get around to. 2, it gives me just like raw editing practice. It's like I think of it like a coding kata, if you know what that is. Or just a kata, editing kata, I guess. So, yeah, I enjoyed it, and I should hopefully have some more stuff coming out after this one. So I'll see you guys in that.